What's up, guys? Josh Mason of Mason Studios here, and I'm joined by the one, the only, Chance Blueberry. I'm just kidding. It's Chance Raspberry.
There it is.
That's the one. You are the character layout artist for The Simpsons, one of my favorite TV shows. And you also have done work on, what was some of the other animated series? Foster's Home?
Yeah, Foster's Home. I worked a little bit on, I did stuff for Family Guy, but on the trading card series. So,
so awesome.
The only two shows I've done are Foster's, Simpsons, and then I worked some on the Simpsons movie.
Nice, man, nice. Yeah, I love the movie. I actually worked at a movie theater back when the Simpsons movie came out.
Cool.
So I was the guy that had to like sweep up the popcorn and everything after. So I remember watching that movie and really liking it. So my first question for you: how long have you been animating?
Honestly, since I was a kid, probably 5 years old. I started drawing when I was 2 or 3, but I really got into animation when I started watching old cartoons like Disney and Looney Tunes, but I've been doing it professionally since 2005.
Nice, man. Nice. Yeah, one of those that started real young. Okay, so what were some other animators or shows that inspired you to get into animating?
Well, definitely Disney and Looney Tunes. All the old Chuck Jones, Fritz Freeling, Bob Clampett stuff from the 40s and 50s, and same with Disney and Max Fleischer, and then more contemporary stuff would be like Ren and Stimpy.
Oh yeah. Gotta love Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, man, the real extreme stuff. But the stuff that pushed the boundaries of animation, Don Bluth, Richard Williams, who did Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
All classics.
Exactly, the classic traditional animation.
Yeah. Nice, man, nice. All right, man, so what was one of your favorite episodes of The Simpsons that you personally worked on?
Great question, and I'm not sure I've ever been asked that one before, but now that I think about it, I would say the Treehouse of Horrors. I love those episodes, and there was one where we did an actual shot-for-shot, almost rotoscope of the Mad Men title sequence for one of the shorts, and that was one of my favorites because it was just me and 2 other directors, and we did that in about 2.5 weeks in retakes, and they just said rotoscope it and make it look right, and so we did.
Nice.
That was really fun.
I know all about some rotoscoping. It takes forever.
Oh yeah, and we couldn't actually rotoscope because it was cartoon versions of everything, so we had to literally look at the shots frame by frame and then try to match our characters.
Best you could. Yeah. I know about some of that stuff, man.
Doing it the hard way.
Imagine that was a little bit of a headache.
Yes.
All right, well, cool, man. So was there anything different, because you worked on the Simpsons movie as well, was there anything different about working on the Simpsons movie compared to how y'all made the TV show?
There was. The show was being done at Film Roman in a big studio. They've been there for 27 years.
Yeah.
And the movie was produced on the Fox lot, which is in a whole different city. So I would have to do my Monday through Friday thing, and then I drive over there on the weekends, and we were working in this little, it wasn't a cramped little trailer, but it was a trailer.
Oh yeah.
They actually called us the Pamela Anderson Stacked Animation Crew because we were working in Pam Anderson's trailer from the show Stacked when she was doing that show for Fox.
So they were giving y'all the Hollywood treatment while they had you there. Yeah.
Actually they were. It was the closest I've ever felt to reaching the top, if you could call it that, because we had meals. They didn't want us to leave, basically. They were if you stay here, we'll bring you food, we'll bring you candy, whatever you need, just don't go home. Stay here and animate.
Stay there and animate.
So it was so much fun.
Oh, I imagine, man. Yeah, that's my goal. One day is to work on a big studio movie, even if I'm bringing the director's coffee. That's all I want. So, okay, cool, man. And now, if there's anybody out there, because I've tried being a filmmaker and doing stuff like that, I've tried the animating stuff from time to time because I'm a decent drawer, but I know nothing about animating. And I've tried to mess around with some different programs and stuff. I've just never really figured out exactly what I need to do to get going. And so what's a good avenue for somebody who wants to get into animating, as far as any types of programs you might recommend for them to get started with, or any type of college or anything like that they could do to get going with animating?
Well, cool. I would highly recommend drawing fundamentals, because you're gonna, no matter what line of work you go into, you're always gonna need your drawing fundamentals, which is life drawing and perspective, basic draftsmanship skills. And which of course are trained and taught through pencil and paper still, but you can apply those skills to any medium. So I say go for your fundamentals, and to do that, And then as far as software is concerned, you really have so many choices nowadays. But on The Simpsons, we use a program called Toon Boom Scene Machine, which is just sort of like a customized version of their master suite, which is Harmony.
Okay.
And then I personally like to start my animation in Toon Boom software. I use Pencil Check or Animate Pro.
Okay.
I think they're up to version 3 now. And then you can take those drawings, like those individual hand-drawn frames, out as JPEGs or whatever your TIFF, file format choice is.
Okay.
And you can turn them into import them into Photoshop or whatever, clean everything up, do all your colors and effects, and then import those drawings as PSD files into, like, say, After Effects or Final Cut or Premiere.
See, those I know about.
Yeah,
I know about some
there
After
you go.
Effects and Final Cut. That's my program language you're speaking right there.
Yeah, man. So those are all fantastic, mediums. And then for the schools, I highly recommend the Animation Academy.
Okay.
And you can just go to theanimationacademy.com. They have an online program and a school, so it doesn't matter where you live. You can take classes there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'll put a link to that in the description as well.
Cool.
My next question for you is, what's it like having hair? Because your hair is phenomenal.
Dude.
I'm not gonna take my hat off, but I don't exactly have hair, so I'm a little jealous of what you got going on up top there. You got any pointers, any tips for what I can do to throw it out?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Honestly, I'm not worthy. I'm humbled by that. Thanks, man. Honestly, I just I love the 50s and I love the 80s and I love that, like, I guess you'd call it the greaser look.
Yeah.
But that wasn't really what inspired the way I do my hair. It was more like I really just enjoyed, like, the shapes, that you see in, like Zach Morris and like a lot of people like James Dean and like Ricky Ricardo and Elvis and all of these wonderful styles from like the golden age and then the second golden age in the 80s. So that's what I do. As far as tips and pointers, I just
best of luck.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
Take good care of it while you got it, and that's all I'm trying to do.
Mine ran away long ago, man. And I even
you,
put.
Lord. It's like, I pray.
I did put the little sad face thing in the questions, the sad emoji, next to that question. Okay, so my next question, probably the most important. Tell us more about your new series, Little Billy.
Cool, man. Thanks. It's actually, speaking of the 50s and the 80s, it is an animated series about a child with special needs. It's the first one ever made, and it actually deals with all special needs and really even beyond that, just being different.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing it. It's called Little Billy, and it's basically traditionally hand-drawn animation, just like Disney and Looney Tunes from the 40s.
Yeah.
But the theme of the show is 80s, because it's set in the 80s, and it's going to bring back all the cool stuff from our childhood and beyond. So anyone who grew up in the 70s, there'll be tons of that. Anyone who grew up in the 60s, there'll be tons of that.
Yeah.
But it's primarily focused on the 80s, and it's got the 50s animation style, and it's basically, I'm just trying to break new ground and bring back that quality of animation that we had growing up as kids with shows like DuckTales.
Oh yeah,
and
one of my favorites.
Like where they were actually producing animation. It was the second golden age in the 80s of animation, so they were producing theatrical quality stuff for TV.
Yeah.
It was the only time we've ever seen that in like the history of cinema. So I want to bring that back and at least create like an option for it, as opposed to the style that seems to have become very popular is this very limited animation style, and it makes sense from a financial standpoint because it's far less expensive to produce. Yeah. So I'm just going like, I miss it. I want to bring it back and do that, and why not do it in a way that tackles a subject that no one's even touched before?
Yeah. So that's so awesome, dude. I think it's so cool that you're doing that, and it's about a kid with disability, which is like the coolest thing ever.
And the reason I chose that, by the way, is I actually have Tourette syndrome.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I grew up as that kid, and the whole show is loosely based on my life growing up with Tourette's. But his condition is fictitious, so no matter what you have, you can relate to Billy.
Well, I was actually about to say, I even kind of related to him because I watched the trailer this week, and my favorite part of the entire trailer is when he burst through the door riding like an electric saw. And I just tripped out. I was like, that is hilarious, because I think the mom said something like, he's not dangerous or something like that. He burst through the door riding an electric saw. That's so great.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's really good, man. I'm looking forward to it. So we're going to put links in the description for all the information about Little Billy.
And it's littlebilly.com. It's real easy to find.
Okay, cool. Do you have any type of fundraising site, anything like that for it?
Well, yeah, littlebilly.com actually takes you to the Patreon, which is the headquarters for Little Billy now, and that's Patreon, in my opinion, is the greatest crowdfunding site for artists because there's no deadlines, there's no limits. It's all like, it's basically designed to become your paycheck. You know, it's like if enough people are backing this on a monthly basis, you can work on it full time.
Yeah, I know. So, I've got some buddies in the YouTuber thing that they use Patreon, and that's literally what they do. Like, they don't have a day job or anything. They just collect their money from Patreon each month, and that's it. And that's the goal right there, man.
Thanks. Yeah, man. Amen.
So, last thing, real quick, I got some quick rapid fire questions, and then we'll wrap this up. So, first, favorite food?
Sushi.
Sushi. Worst job you ever had?
Banking.
Cool. That's a bad one. Favorite Simpsons character?
Bart Simpson.
Naturally, of course, everyone's. Favorite animated show other than one you've worked on?
Probably DuckTales.
Yep, that's a good one. Good choice. Favorite movie?
Oh my gosh, Back to the Future.
Such a good choice. Such a good choice.
Thank you, man.
Favorite video game?
Oh gosh, that is even harder. Super Mario Brothers Part 3.
Very good choice. You know, I know a guy who directed a Mario Brothers fan film. It's very explosive. So anyway, man, I do appreciate you coming out. Thanks for joining me today, man.
My
really
pleasure.
do appreciate it.
Thanks, Josh.
Guys, if y'all want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks, as always, for watching. And as always, guys, we'll see you next time.
Have you heard the news? Everyone's talking. Life is good because everything's awesome. Lost my job, it's a new opportunity. More free time for my awesome community. I feel more awesome than an awesome possum. Dip my body in chocolate frosting. 3 years later, I shot the frosting. Smelling like a blossom. Everything is awesome. Stepped in mud, got new brown shoes. Awesome to win and it's awesome to lose. Awesome to lose.
Karate in the garage? Yay! Yay! Karate in the garage! And then Nintendo in the basement! Let's go! Woohoo!
I'm gonna get you! You're not gonna win this!
I'm gonna win! Woohoo!
I'm coming!
I was gonna do a close-up on the back right end that was coming up about a foot off the ground.
I felt it while we were doing it. I was like, this is gonna end real bad.
Our faces are gonna be in that wall.
Yeah, I was like, well, this is gonna end badly. Oh my goodness.
What's going on right here?
Oh, this is hilarious. I don't even fit this.
Did that in about 2 weeks in retakes, and it was.
And we've got a special appearance by Tanya's cell phone.
And Steven Gunther.
Hold on, I'm working on it.
Special cameo appearance by Steven.
That was
By the
funny.
way, I love that your photo of him in your phone is the one that I edited. Yeah, I put together that photo. I was like, wait a minute, I remember putting that together.